Ay, sasamachi kadasai. Yo, check, yo, check. Yo, check, yo, check. 皆さんおはようございます。RTA in Japan, Tales of Speedrun Showcase 3番目見ています。この時間がPSP と PSTV ブロック時間です。今、Tales of Fantasia なりきりダンジョンXをいただきます。The remake of the sequel of Tales of Fantasia。はい、外人の奏者のジョンと申します。カテゴリーはGlitchlessですね。このゲームはローディンググリッチがあります。ベスペリアのバウルローディンググリッチみたいですね。でも今グリッチレス遊びますね。外人の奏者ですから必要なインフォメーションを日本語で話します。でも物語が英語で話しますけどすみませんでした。でもI hope you still enjoy the showcase even in that situation. So 始めましょうかな。カウントダウンします。3、2、1、スタートです。はい。オリジナル版のゲームボーイ版なりきりダンジョンはミステリーダンジョンシリーズに属するゲームだがログライクではない。また、テイルズシリーズの中で唯一のターンベースゲームでもある。不思議ダンジョン RTA? So, shoutouts to 不思議ダンジョン RTA. ユニークなメカニズムはコスチュームを変更することで使用できる圧やスキルが変わることです。Hi. So the lore of this game is essentially we have Dio and Mel who are the main characters of this game, and they're adopted by their foster mother who is Ittos. And Albert is the talking cabinet, the main source of the costumes of these two. And they're both narikirishi. 彼はnarikirishi です。どういう意味ですか？変わるコスチュームですね。違います。はい。So, we're about to go to Valhalla Town. This is in 4408 era. And this is the Narikirishi time. And as you'll see, it's really a lively neighborhood, colorful neighborhood, thanks to the PSP graphics, I guess. So what you're about to see is a battle, not really important, but このバトルはコスチュームを紹介します。これはメルは魔術師とディオは剣士おサムライです。ソードマンです。Okay. So, after this fight, this is essentially more cutscenes. Basically, the conflict in this story is actually all of a sudden, Mel's magic caused a surge of mana in Valhalla Town. And it's essentially a cluster of mana. Password jikan desu. Okay, this one, left, right. Okay. Orochi costume desu. Okay, sun. This one, and then this one. Where is it? And then this one. Okay. Dai Majutsushi desu. Okay. Nasaan ka? Okay. And then to. Nasaan ka? To. And then vest. Okay. And then sun. Then nasan ka? Ito. This. And then up. Okay, pine gel and pine gumi. Up, okay. And then okay, and then okay. Costume des. Orochi costume des. Daimajushi des. Orange gumi. Tactics. Position. Explosion. Hi. Orochi costume to Daimajushi costume wa dochira mo game de mottomo tsuyoi costume desu. Orochi wa Saiko level no Butsuri Atsu o shio dekimasu. Daimajushi wa hayame ni game o explosion to itta tsuyoi maho o nyūshū dekimasu. Hi. So, password wa game hatsubai ato de ni zashi ni keisai sareta. So we meet Kuru, a bit of menuing here. Boyoyon dance, tactics. Okay. So we met Kuru. Kuru joined our party because the twins saved the life of Kuru. So that's essentially what happened there. And the reason why we went to this tower is that we want to solve the mana surge problem in the Valhalla town. And we seek the help of a certain character who lurks in this tower who will help us along the way on how to solve the problem. And actually, our mission here is to seek the elemental spirits. Oh. Okay, we'll just... Okay. Hi. Koi nga arimasen chu de, ongaku o kiite kudasai ne. Hai. Hajime no encounter desu. Irenai no encounter desu. Hai. Hai, kono floor nga Ikai Irenai no encounter desu. Hitsuyo desu. Demo, tatakao shinai desu ne. Hori Batoru o shiru koto dekimasen. Hai. Hai. Saisho no boss sen wa Miracle DX desu. Sebu shimasu. Hai, saisho no boss sen wa Arch Cry ga umidashita Miracle DX desu. Original no Naridan de wa Arch Cry to tatakaimasu. Kare wa 4408年のタイムラインでファンタジアから生きてる唯一のキャラクターです。 Okay, explosion です。はい、大きなダメージを見ていますね。はい。ミラクル DX 終わりです。でも、メニューウィン忘れました。この戦う前にメニューウィンを忘れました。すみませんでした。でも、アチクラインでしたね。はい。できた。Hi, so we have met Arch Klein and we're about to go now to the next era. And by the way they transport from one timeline to another is they use paintings. So they also use it in Fantasia. Transporting between timelines requires machines. Well, we will use machines here later on. Spoiler. So we are now in 4203 AC. This is Claus's era. Hi, 今 UMD で遊びますね。はい。ilan? Right bottle, worry bottle,はい。早めにゲームではホリボトルとたくさんガルドを入手できます。はい。So we meet Klaus Sensei here, who is the summoner of the eternal heroes, and in the skip cutscenes we see that Klaus got drunk because of his summoning thesis that got burned in front of everyone in the academy, and as a result he became a drunkard. So this is the very next dungeon that we're about to see. As you know, the next boss fight is Ifrit. Sugi no Bosu Sen wa Ifrit desu ne. Hai.はい、今年PS ストアにバンダイナムコゲームを買うことができませんね。それからUMD しか買いますね。はい、もう一度声がありません中で音楽を聴いてください。PSP ゲームとPSTV、はい、PS ビータ、はい。 はい、次のボス戦は、イフリートです。に、最も難しい。Okay, big menuing time. Okay. ホリボトルです。Okay, save 時間です。最も難しい戦闘の一つとなっています。理由は、ボスの HP がミラクル DX の HP3000 からイフリットの HP が1万になります。パーティーメンバーが2人しかいます。クルーがサポートです。イフリットが攻撃的である。ね。100% concentration いります。Oh, please don't go to the cutscene members. Okay, good.はい、大きなダメージナンバーを見ていますね。DPS は200ぐらいね。OK。半分の HP がOK。よかったね。危ないね。OK。早めのゲームにもっと難しいボス戦の終わりです。135! Oh! That's a super good Ifrit fight, by the way. 135. In average, that's about 2 minutes. 2分ぐらい。はい。So, we're going back to Claus Sensei because we were able to prove to him that we're able to defeat Ifrit. So Claus becomes the first Fantasia member to join the team. And next, we're going to Valhalla Town again, but this time in 4203 era, in Claus's era. So basically, what happened here is that this is actually a year after the Valhalla War. So this is the remnant of the war. It became a poor nation. Okay, big menuing coming up again. Okay, special Gumi. Like Botoru, Oribotoru, Misty Mark. Okay. Misty Mark. So yeah, it became a poor nation after the war with Daos. So next, we go to Lone Valley. So, Lone Valley, hi. So, this is where we meet Rondolin, who, by the way, Rondolin came all of a sudden because she was expelled by Daos in the Fantasia. So, big menuing again. Ice Tornado, Ifrit, Tactics, this one, Orange Gumi. Okay, Horibotoro, okay. Tadashi desu. このコスチュームがもらいましたから、最後のダンジョンはいりますね。We need this in the final dungeon. Ah, もう一回、音楽を聴いてくださいね。はい、次のボス戦はシルフですね。はい、ファンタジアではシルフとは1体ずつしか戦います。これゲームでは2体のシルフと戦うことになる。はい、もう一回セーブします。OK、シルフとノムとウンディネとアスカとの戦闘では3つの魔法を同時に唱えることで彼らを永久に栄唱状態にすることができます。一つはロンドリンのアイストーネードでなければなりません。はい。ガス。いや。Please cast. Cast しない。お呼びしない。Oops. これらボス戦すべてにおいて最悪のシナリオは彼らが魔を使いに尽くすることです。でもシルフさんがお呼びしないでした。お呼びしない。はい、同じチュートリアルバトルを入れないですね。でもはい。Oh yeah, so we finally defeated Sylph. So the next the next place we're going to go is the Cavern of Spirits. This is essentially Gnome's dungeon. Hi, Nomo desu. もう一度、声がありませんので、音楽を聴いてください。はい、この剣がおさ船に本当に必要ですね。ミッゲームセクション。はい。Yes, this is the sequel to Fantasia. This was never released outside. Yes, Fantasia was only released outside Japan in their Game Boy version, but not in other versions. This was only Japanese exclusive so far. Big menuing coming up. Explosion, ice tornado, ifrit. Okay. はい。この戦うのはのも1パートですね。はい。Okay. Wow. 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 はい、1パートですね。はい。あとで、True Boss Fight ですね。Just restore if we haveセブします。はい、次のボス戦は本当に飲むですね。シールフと同じです。すまない。終わりです。キャストしました。魔法を呼びしました。Wow! Do I have thoughts about Albert? I'm not sure what you're talking about, but maybe Albert is a funny thing that happened in this game. Oh. Okay, this is bad. Okay, it castled again. Okay. So, yeah. So if you interrupt the if you interrupt the arts, or all of a sudden one of the members did not cast, the boss will attack aggressively. So that's what you have seen. So we're done with Gnome. And we're going back to Valhalla Town again because we need a permission from the King of Albanista to go to the Limestone Cave, in which, as you know, that is where Undina is located. Mo ikai shopping kai mona desu. So what you're seeing here is the poverty of Valhalla Town, once again. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. Hi, mo ikai limestone cave desu ne. Koのダンジョンは本当に長いですね。たくさんパズルをできたくさんパズルをしますね。もう一回声がありません中で音楽を聴いてください。Code Blast, Ice Tornado, Ifrit. Okay. Nice. はい、次のボス戦はウンディネですね。でもシルフとノムと同じですね。同じです。セーブします。セーブします。はい。Just like in Fantasia, you battle Undine because the party disturbed her sleep. So this is also the same lore why you have to fight Undine. It has the same octopus. はい、同じのタコとスターフィッシュですね。はい、キャストしました。はい、終わりです。はい、ゴッドブラスね。Oops. You have to refill Mel. Hi. その簡単ですね。でも次のボス戦は簡単じゃない。でもリュウは3つのパーティーメンバー3つのパーティーメンバーがキャストしましたね。だよな。はい、so we're done with the mission of obtaining all of the elementals. So we are returning to 4408 or the Narikirishi era, and we'll see if it worked. So the long cutscenes will tell you now that we are able to summon the 4 spirits, the elementals, but it is not enough, and people had an idea that we need Maxwell, and that's actually the next boss fight. We need Maxwell to be able to balance the mana surge in Valhalla Town. Hi, so we're now in 4306. So this is the star painting. 4306 is the era of Cress, Mint, and Chester. So we're about to meet them. So Toltis Town. So this is the starting town in Tales of Fantasia. Yes. もう一回買い物ですね。はい、買い物。はい。全部で、コテツとミスティブルームと、はい。So let me share what happened in this era. So after the events of Tales of Fantasia, so Cress became still a commander, became busier with his duties in Valhalla. In fact, his mission is to pursue a criminal organization, Sigurd, who attacked the Valhalla town with Brynhildr as its leader. So miners and citizens are in conflict at that time. Big menuing coming up again. Okay. Okay. Explosion. Okay. Should be. So next dungeon is the Morlia Gallery. So let me go back to the lore again. So Chester became busy being a commander-in-chief in leading the operation against Sigurd. Mint became the healer of Tolkestan. And as you see, Chester is a caretaker of the kids who were lost in the war, in the Valhalla War. Or in the wars that came after this. And in the wars that came after the Valhalla War, the war with Daos. このパートはもう一回コスチュームを紹介しましたね。ハンターコスチュームですね。ハンター。シンフォニアラタトスみたいね。モンスターコレクションしますね。はい。はい、もう一回声がありませんが、もう一回モリア OST を聞いてください。
はい、このパートは4戦の4戦hindi na. 4スピリッツ、魂、4魂を出ますね。はい、次のボス戦はMaxwellですね。Maxwellの戦いはDio と Mel のスキルを試すためだけに行われる。はい、so this fight is just only Dio and Mel. This is why this is one of the difficult fights of this game. はい、4台。God Blast。はい。レモンジェルお願いします。おお、電気とアトラクタービームが大きなダメージをいただきますけど、ドッジしますね。危ないです。エレメントボールもエレメントボールを危ないですね。OK、OK。OK。はい、ただし、コスチュームをオーバーブレイブ紹介します。はい、このパートはオーバーブレイブを紹介します。はい、オーバーブレイブ中は戦闘速度が速くなる。高レベルの圧を無制限に使用できる。
敵がよろめたりダウンしたりしていても攻撃できる。オーバーブレイブは無制限にいっぱいするできるが、いっぱいする回数が増えるほど時間制限が短くなる。So this part, we are able to obtain Maxwell, but this time we wanted to help Crest and Mint to unite together because the twins know that they haven't met for at least a year after the events of Fantasia, especially after the Daos fight. So we're about to fight Crest, but this isn't really important, so it's just for plot purposes, I guess. Oh. Do I have to repeat Maxwell? Maxwell, no, Jordan des itazura dake da yo. Yes. It's a joke fight. Kono tatakaw no wa irinai desu ne. So basically, the reason why Dio challenged Crest to duel is that Dio challenged Crest to a duel because he wanted to make a promise that Crest will meet Mint if Dio won the fight, and Crest will have to do what he wanted if okay. Yeah, Crest will do what he wants if he wins the duel, and if Dio wins the duel, then Dio will have to reunite Crest with Mint, or Crest will go to Mint essentially. Fun fact, the last time I said that joke time, it's in RIJ Winter 2024. So, the last time I mentioned that, and it feels good to say that again. Hi, Horiboto. Hi, so at this point, Crest, we're helping now Crest to in his mission to pursue Sigurd. So we're helping Crest in his mission. What happened? Yeah, we're helping Crest to do his mission in Sigurd. And during the cutscenes, I forgot to mention this. During the cutscenes, so Crest was reflecting after the events of Fantasia if killing Daos was right, because he knew that Daos was only being protective of his kingdom, Deriskarlan. And in this mission, we learn of the motive of Brynhildr, who wanted to full control of the world, and full control of the world, so he was opening the Daemonium door. Brynhildr got away, so we go to the Tower of Zodiac to help seal the Daemonium door. A Big Benjamin coming up again. Divine Rod. Akisasame. Pikohan. Okay. Hi. このパートはミントを使うことが始まりますね。ファンタジア RTA はミントを使いませんね。Huh? How did I? What? What? This is first time that happened, by the way. We'll just fight them. I did not expect that I'll get an encounter. We were successful in the encounters. Anyway, I'm not going to load. That's weird. Oh, no. Might happen again. はい、もう一回セーブします。はい、次のボス戦は、ルナですね。ルナのとの戦いは、特にルナがジャッジメントを使うと難しい。しかし戦うのは偽物だけだ。はい、アモグス。はい、オーバーブレイブ。オーバーブレイブしますね。はい。これがオーバーブレイブをオーバーブレイブ後ですね。Okay. Oh, that was Judgment. Okay. Judgment できた。でも、終わりました。はい。So that was Luna. So that is just the impostor Luna, and the real Luna is actually located on the top floor. This is the real Luna. このルナは本当ですね。リアルですね。はい。次のダンジョンはスルト森ね。So we obtain Crest, and we are pursuing the leader of the criminal group here. This is the first time we'll also use Chester. We will actually use Chester, especially in a boss fight. Okay, もう一回メニューですね。 はい、次のボス戦はグレムリンレアですね。でも弱い敵があります。グレムリンレア。いや弱い敵後で。
やばそうだぜ。
もう一回弱い敵後で。Okay. Then justセブします。はい。次のボス戦はグレムリンですね。グレムリンレアは反応が早く攻撃を当てるのが難しい。この戦闘ではオロチのコスチュームを使用することが非常に必要となる。まずは弱い敵を攻撃しよう。Okay. もう一回オーバーブレイズ。このパートはたくさんオーバーブレイブを使いますね。竜は早いですね。早いヒットすることができます。はい、たくさん弱い敵です。このゲームはOK。はい、グリーンレアは本当にめんどくさいな。でも、1分半分ぐらいね。So at this part, we are able to defeat Gremlin Lair. By the way, the reason why we fought Gremlin Lair is Gremlin Lair was at fault for killing the a friend of Kraus, who is Professor Basil, and Professor Basil turned out to be Brynhilder, who is the leader of the criminal organization. So Professor Basil was actually doing research on magic technology in order to save the Valhalla from the conflict between the miners sponsored by Albanista and citizens. By the way, this is just another death cutscene, so we're not kono bato wa irimasu ne. Demo demoもう一回上手じゃないですね。もっと早くお願いします。Okay. So we are fighting the mass duo. Now, we don't know who are this mass duo. For now, we don't know who are this mass duo. And later on, they will destroy the painting of the twins. So the twins were not able to travel back to their time. So they need now another way to travel through time. And as you know, in Tales of Fantasia, there is a way to do it, which is we go to the Master Computer Oz. And that is located in the ancient city of Thor. So we now have a lot of party members: Chester, Mint, Cress, and so on and so forth. So just for backup, let's buy backup strategy. Gumi o kaishimasu ne. So we now go to the ancient city of Thor. So this is where the Master Computer Oz is located. And we cannot open the entrance, but with the help of the next person who will arrive, who is Rondolin, once again, Rondolin-san. So she became expelled by Daos again over time. So after the Undina fight, she vanished and then she returned again because she was expelled again by Daos. Big menu coming up again. Rondolin, Mint. Okay. And then Moribatoru. Sakune. Pikohan. Okay. Ko no tatakaw no wa irinay desu ne. Demo TP recharge o dio desu ne. Dio to ko ni. Uy! Okay. Mix. はい、次のボス戦はアスカさんです。でもこの戦うのは簡単です。シルフとノムとウンディネと同じです。お呼びします。お呼びします。お呼びしてくださいね。OK。終わりです。すみません。はい、この戦うのは本当に簡単ですね。でも、あとボス戦ね。ちょっと難しいです。So we're done with Asuka. We're able to use the computer to transport to other timeline, and but we are going to 4354, which is Suzu's era, all of a sudden, because Suzu's clan abducted Dio and the company as a mistaken identity as an ally of Pluto, who is the Lord of Demonium. And in that timeline, Pluto has released a poisonous gas called miasma, which was used against the War of Daos. So we have Suzu now in our party. Masamune. Ito muna. Okay. Okay. We're done. So we're going back to ancient city of Thor because we wanted to transport back to 4408, but later on the twins wanted to help Suzu instead. So big menu coming up. Okay. Ima, party member nga, Mel to Rondolin Sana, Oyubuことができます。キャストしますね。でも、鈴さんがグッズに圧しかしていますね。 でも、シルフとノムとウンディネとアスカと同じじゃないです。ちょっとこれから難しい。ちょっと難しいです。So the next cutscenes will tell you now that Suzu, this is the memory lane of Suzu meeting Cress for the first time. Especially, this also reveals the cutscene where one of the Suzu's clan members betrayed Suzu in favor of Daos. But Suzu was very persistent to what's this? Continue her ninja life. Yeah, continue her ninja life.はい、ボールとボス戦のちょっと難しいですから、本当にセーブするを入れます。はい、次のボス戦はボルトです。このパートの戦闘は以前の戦闘とよく似ています。ボルトは攻撃的でインディグネーションをしています。はい。インディグネーションをしています。このパートはミッゲームパート。おおよかったですね。イグニネーションしければ、たくさんパーティーメンバー死にます。でも、このイベントはないです。このイ はい、次のダンジョンは、次のダンジョンは、シャドウですね。Shadow's Dungeon. はい。Shadow no dungeon ね。So, the next cutscenes will tell you that Suzu is being lured to enjoy the life of the twins because so far the twins are just living their simple life and their mission is just simple. They're just helping people. They're just helping people. They're just solving I don't know if it is a big crisis or small crisis in Valhalla town, but this is just they're just helping either way. So Suzu was being lured to that kind of life, and Suzu being in her history that she still accepted her ninja life, so she succumbed to that lure, or I should say she did not let the masked duo, by the way. It was the masked duo who did that. She did not let the masked duo lure her to the life of the twins. So she kept her ninja status and also being the chief of the village. So that's essentially what happened in these cutscenes. Oops. Duck. Hi. Hi, 30秒待ちますね。30秒。So, 次のボス戦はシャドウですね。シャドウはグレムリニアと同じで、AOE 圧をしています。はい。他のめんどくさいのボス戦ね。
とにかく本気でいく。
Okay. Whew. もう一回、これらボトスンすべてにおいて最悪のシナリオは彼らが魔法使いに尽くすることです。でも、このイベントはないですね。So we're done with Shadow. And we are what is happening in this era is that Pluto is beginning invasion in the Azelia. So Suzu is in the middle of giving up because her army is not enough to defeat Pluto. But at the same time, Rondolin called a lot of party members, especially Crest, Arch, Chester, Kraus. So it's a lot. Where's the holy bottle? Okay. Hi, so we're about to go to Norfolk Cave, but Pluto's domain at that point is too dangerous because everything is covered in miasma, a poison used during the War of Daos. So, big rain coming up. Archcline, you're here. Rondolin, Ice Tornado, Maelstrom, Equipment, Tactics. Okay. Soこれからこのパートからはアーチクラインをします。アーチクラインを使いますね。So we are seeking the help of Origin because Origin can purify the miasma coming from Norfolk. So that is why we are seeking Origin. はい。次のボス戦はOrigin ですね。もう一回セーブします。オリジンは射程の長い物理攻撃を持ち、フンドなど高レベルの術技もしています。はい、メイストロンはじめです。おー、no. はい、オーバーブレイド2です。OK。キャストします。魔法をお呼びしました。終わりです。はい。So we're done with Origin and はい もう一回、the worst case scenario is if a boss goes near the casters, especially Origin. Origin is a tough one. Has a high range weapon. So, we're done with Origin. We're able to seek his help to purify the miasma in the Norfolk cave.はい、先のボス戦はプルトですね。プルトです。So、プルトとダオス1はとても簡単ですね。ただ彼らに唱えさせればいいのです。So, I haven't talked about what happened to Pluto. So, Pluto is actually... just for safety, we'll save. So Pluto and Origin had a pact with each other, and over the centuries, over decades, that contract vanished over time. And at the same time, Demonium wanted a world of their own, so that is why Pluto began invading Azelia. And at this point, Demonium world and Azelia were fused. Were currently fused with each other. Or at the very least, Demonium had a gate over Azelia. So this is what happened to Pluto and why we're fighting Pluto as well. Hi, はい、とても簡単ですね。3つのパーティーメンバーがキャストします。魔を及びますね。 Okay. So after this, there are long cutscenes here. So what? These are just lores. So what happened is Pluto's control over Acilia ended after the spirit in the element spot. All of a sudden, Pluto, you're out. So that's it. Pluto, you're out from the spirit of the element spot. So that's essentially what happened with after Pluto, the Pluto fight. Yeah, after the Pluto fight. So after this, we're done with Suzu's era because we have helped Suzu stop the control of Pluto. And also we have purified the whole Azilia in that timeline. And now we can finally go back to the Narikirishi era or 4408. We can go back. Okay. Sebushimasu. Okay, the next fight is actually you guess it, that's the first Daos fight. So this is the first Daos fight. Demo, kono Daos no tatakaw wa totemo kantan desu. Yowai Daos bashan desu ne. Demo, the long cutscenes tell you that first, Ittos is actually a ruler of sound. So Ittos had control over the mana surge in Valhalla town. And the history of Ittos is she was shut up by Origin and erased her memory because Ittos, like the twins, lived a sinful life where Ittos before was a destroyer of the world because of hopelessness and misery. And then here, Daos appears again because Daos wanted Mel and Dio to be erased from existence. Because apparently the sin that Mel and Dio committed was something related to Daos. And that will be found out, by the way, in the next part after this. Okay, kasa shimashita, owari desu. Maho oyobi shimashita. Owari desu. So just like in Fantasia, we're fighting a lot of copies of Daos. This game has one too. So we're fighting a lot of copies of Daos. Okay. So at this point, at the very least in this era, Daos is done. But are we sure that it's really done? Because what we only did is, well, we stabilized 408. 4408 rather, 4408. So, and at the same time, the twins were able to solve the problem of the mana surge in 4408 Valhalla Town, so which happened to be a weapon remnant. And after that, all of the characters returned to their own life. But unfortunately, after these cutscenes, all of a sudden, the masked duo that we fought earlier did show up once again. So the twins were curious now, who are these twins? But before that, we will go back to 4306. Yung san zero Rokunen ni kairimasu ne. Kres-san toku ni aimasu. Honto ni Kres-san ga hitsuyu desu. Hitsuyu party member desu. Mo 4408年に帰りますもアーチクラインが本当に必要ですね。必要です。はい、このパートから主にクレスをダメージ源として使用します。ディオはアイテムの要となります。クレスはファンタジアとナリダン X の両方でとても強いですね。Valhalla Town. Brave Shimboru,はい。So we're now about to go to the unknown time or unknown timeline because we're trying to pursue the twins who went into this painting. So we're about to pursue the twins. And the very first dungeon that we will encounter is the cave, what's this? Lynchpin of the Lord of Fire. This is where Flambelk is located. Flambelk. Okay, big menu coming up. Okay. Good grass. Okay. Tidal wave. Okay. Let's go. More encounters. Okay. Oh. Thank you. Okay.はい、次のボス戦はフランベルクですね。このパートから全部します。このパートからボス戦はどれもとても攻撃的だ。はい。はい。おお。はい、オーバーブレイブクレス本当に強いです。OXOXOX してください。は？おお。 はい、綺麗じゃないの戦うでした。でも、強いの、オーバーブレイ、クレスのオーバーブレイドを見てました。ファンタジア、見たいですね。でも、このゲームは、本当に早くです。オーバーブレイもとても早くです。So, what you're seeing here are the cutscenes regarding the past memory of Dios and Mel. So, in this cutscene, Mel was an adopted child of General Bundy, who was the General Bundy, and Meltia is a researcher at that time who wanted to achieve goals for under the pleasure of her father. So that's basically what the cutscenes are about. So we're going now to the cornerstone of the Ice Wolf. This is where Fenbeast is located. Fenbeast. So earlier, the reason why we fought Flank Belt is Flank Belt was super aggressive simply because she thought that the twins stole the unburnable tree or the seal of the time space, which turned out that the masked duo was were the one who stole what's this? The seal. So at that time, so we're talking about now the cutscene after Flambelt. So Meltia again was a researcher, and General Bundy's motive is he wanted to enter a peace for Deris Karlan. But the problem is the means of General Bundy is he wanted to wage war against Palacidum. Indignation Fund. Okay. 次のボス戦はフェンビスですね。電気の圧を弱いです。そしてインディグネーションを使います。So about the cutscene earlier, so again, Meltia was a researcher, and at that time, she was able to achieve the peak of her research, which is to achieve the ultimate light, which is used to produce the mana cannon, and that mana cannon destroyed Deris Karlan. So, and certainly her father, General Bundy, was impressed with the research. So that was the earlier cutscene. the next cutscene after Fen Beast will be the memory of Dios. So, 次のボス戦は、Fen Beast ですね。もう一回セーブします。フェンビストはグレムリンレアやシャドウに似ています。より攻撃的なよろめき攻撃を持ち、誰でも使うことができます。はい、フェンビスト。インディグネーションファンを見ています。おっ危ないですね。危ないでした。あはい。Fan Beast 終わりです。はい。So the next cutscenes now are essentially Dios's memory now. So, Dio's memory. So, Dio was actually a general under, was a commander under General Bundy. So, he joined General Bundy's command in order to So, he joined the command of General Bundy because he wanted to revenge the parents of Dio and Mel who died during the war against Palacidum. So, So, it's an act of revenge that served as motivation for Dios. Renshūchū ではスニージングしませんでした。Okay. I wondered for a bit there. I did not have enough mixed gels. Maybe okay. はいはいはいはい。この剣は本当に強いですね。レザーブレッド。ファンタジア RTA もレザーブレッドしますね。レザーブレッドを使います。タイダルウェイブ時間です。はい、もう一回セーブします。次のボス戦はジェストーナですね。ジェストーナは約5秒以上無敵になることがあります。半分 HP 後ではパーティーに体当たりして突進してきます。 このボス戦は、とても難しいですね。ふや。100% concentration を入れます。Oops! Hourglass. Okay. このHourglassはこの戦うのためです。So the next cutscenes will tell you now what happened now in that war. So once again, as I mentioned before, Meltia was a researcher and Dios was the commanding officer of that war. And hi, Wayland Plains is the next dungeon that we're going to explore. And as you know from the sound or the music, this is actually the theme song during the Valhalla War. So this. So there's a lot of undead. This is the undead, the place of the undead in the Valhalla War. By the way, okay, maybe it's time to say something about another train of thought. The reason why I have Nakiri Dungeon there is because, if I'm not mistaken, in the Western fan base, there are some people who misspelled Nakiri Dungeon as Nakiri Dungeon. And as you know, there is only one person that goes by the name of a Nakiri. And that's the same member that you're seeing right now. はい。次のボス戦はイシュラントです。イシュラントには弱い敵もいますが、レーザー攻撃や激怒をさせないようにしてください。OK。Okay, okay. This is good. Okay, 終わりです。Wow. "40-second ish run." So the next cutscenes will tell you now. Yes, the stun locking is super powerful. Especially if you have Overbrave. So, at this point in time, Daos had no choice of entering ceasefire with Daos' troops. So, and at the same time, General Bundy does not want peace because for him, peace is the same as surrender. So, at that point, they're about to release the mana cannon. And Ishrant there was the grave tender of everything that killed in the war. That is why in Fantasia, you're able to see a lot of undead there. Hi. このパートは、ダーケンドイラがモラとシーがありませんけど、4408年に帰ります。もう一回買い物をします。全部の戦うのはたくさんグミを使いました。次の2回戦うするのはたくさんグミも使います。So next is Glitner Mountain. So this is actually the ground zero of the war with Daos. So this is where the ground zero of the mana cannon. And at this point, Dio and Mel cannot are very determined because to seek the truth behind them, why they were reincarnated, because at this point they keep on getting these memories, not really vague memories but a lot of memories when they were still as Dios and Meltia. Yeah, the ground zero. This is where the mana cannon struck. Mainly struck, by the way. Mo ikai save します。Okay. 次のボス戦はビッグアイですね。ビッグアイは試合ダークアイの組み合わせですと思います。止まるしないように。ファンテージャ2ではシールアイとダークアイとダウスカッスルに戦いましたね。全部でビッグアイですと思います。Okay. Oh, 25 seconds. Super. That's super good. So, this cutscenes tell you now, after the big eye, is... At that point, during the war, Dios was very aggressive to fire the mana cannon with the revenge of their foster father's death in mind. And at the same time, it's the dilemma of being killed or get killed. Be killed or kill the enemies. That's essentially what happened there. So, after the firing of the mana cannon, everything in Derris Scarland died. So this is also the explanation why Norn gave a punishment to Dios and Meltia by reincarnating them as Dio and Mel. So we're now in Daos' castle. So this is the final dungeon in Fantasia. Yeah, Fantasia. Fantasia Cross. Fantasia Cross. So maybe during this, we're going to talk about what happened to Daos, okay, during the cutscenes, because I was not able to talk much about during the other fights. So, menuing jikan desu. Cyclone. Okay, so what happened? Let's talk about Daos. So, Rondolin and Daos had met each other before, and in one of the cutscenes, Rondolin was quite close to Daos, especially that, if I'm not mistaken, Daos gave the ring, if I'm not mistaken, the ring that Rondolin was talking about in some of the cutscenes, and she recognized Daos as being kind, and at the same time, he was suffering because he wanted to save his world, Derris Scarland, and this also revealed his motivations, why we fought him in Fantasia, because it's that dilemma again where do you want to save Asilia or do you want, or will you let Asilia die? That's essentially what happened here. That is why we fought Daos in Fantasia. So that was the motivation in some of these cutscenes. Also in this game, this revealed the motivation why we fought Daos in Fantasia. So I don't know if this maybe these are some of the cutscenes that were, these were some of the cutscenes not shown in Fantasia. So to some extent, this game revealed, or I should say, amplified of what happened in Fantasia. I don't know if this is synonymous with, I don't know, there's a recent anime named Horimiya. Sorry, why all of a sudden I'm mentioning some anime right here, no? Where people demanded an extra part of Horimiya. So I think that's a good metaphor, I guess, but yeah. Why did I mention Horimiya? So yeah, that's another train of thoughts. Apart from Fushigi Dungeon and Nakiri Dungeon, so Horimiya became the third train of thought. So yeah, these are just all fights. Okay. Okay. So the next cutscenes about Daos reveal now that why he took the demon lord role. Again, this is why we fought Daos in Fantasia. So during the war between the two nations, Palace Siduman, the palace where General Bundy belonged, Daos was just a mere observer. Although partly he was responsible for the war, that's why partly responsible for the war. So simply because Daos let it happen. So Daos was very conscious why he did not take action again, in favor of these two nations. To prosper with each other, and at the end they fought wars with each other. They fought a lot of wars. So it's just more fights, nothing too special. We're done with the book. Yeah. Okay. Okay. 全部で終わりました。でもダオしかですね。次のボス戦は最後のダオスのボス戦です。このゲームはこのボス戦は本当に戦いで本当に難しいですね。難しいです。本当に。リオは本当に強いです。本当に強いです。2回目のダオス戦はゲーム中で最も難しい戦いです。Big menu coming up. Rondolin here. Okay. Tidal wave. Ice tornado. Save. はい。ファンタジアと比較するとダオスをよろめくする確実な方法はありません。これは両方のフェーズで非奥義であるスーパーダオスブラスとメトスウォームを使用することによって可能です。皆さん、エネルギーと祈るものを出してください。この本当に難しいです。This thing can mystic art, and if it mystic arts, 皆さん死んでいます。ミスティックアートしければ、皆さんみんなのパーティーに死んでます。 Okay. 1フェーズ終わりです。2回目、2番フェーズで、ファイナルと同じ終わりフェーズのファンタジアです。はい。wait. I need to buff. Okay. Okay. これは終わりのファンタジアフェーズのダウス戦です。オーバーブレイブ中後でオーバーブレイブ中後でもうすぐ火おぎをします。See? Wait. Wait. What should I do? Oh no. Dio. Okay. The most difficult fight in the game done. でも、綺麗じゃないでした。オーバーブレイブ中で、もうすぐミスティックアーチしました。でも、このイベントはないでした。はい。本当に怖いでした。So we're done with Daos. And we're down to the last two fights. And at that point, after that, Daos accepted his fate of that he'll just let the twins go and seek the truth behind themselves. Because the reason Daos wanted to eliminate the twins is because for him, if the twins were existent, he will just what happened in Derry's Carland as Dio and Mel will repeat again. So he believed that history repeats itself. So,最後の買い物が行きましたね。最後のダンジョンです。So in this dungeon, this will reveal more about Dios and Meltia. So Let me talk about them one by one. So Dio's action caused war between neighboring countries for basic supplies, but instead Dios accused, or rather pointed the blame to the war why nations were fighting over basic supplies. So this was on the perspective of Dios. And then okay, costume Samurai des, Majushi des. Hai, このダンジョンは最後ですね。So yeah, as mentioned before, Dios blamed the war why the nations were fighting over basic supplies. Meltia, however, in her memory, she became hungry for affection because of what happened to her in her past life, especially being estranged from her parents. So Axeman and then Healer. So this is the required costume to progress through the mirror. Axeman and then the Healer. And then yeah, Meltia was hungry for affection from her foster parents. So she wanted Bondi to be proud of her always. So as life ended in Deriskarland, at that time there was about 10 million people. So the population was about 10 million people. Okay, kono costume desu. Swordsman desu. Onaji costume desu. Hai. So the next Suki no Bosu Sen wa mas duo ga dare desu ka? So far we keep on seeing the memory of Dios and Meltia. So who might that next boss be? So that will be the next boss in this dungeon. The last two boss fights, yes. There will be last two boss fights. Okay, big menuing time coming up because we're almost to the save panel. Okay. Arch climb there. Haribotoro. Costume! Oh, I always forget the costumes. Tidal wave. Okay, sebushimasu. I always forget the costume. はい。The next boss fights、次のボス戦は、Dios とメルティアです。Dios とメルティアは、一緒に戦いです。両方に当てることができれば、これは簡単です。Dios はイグナイトカリバとメズは、Oh no, oh no. It did not stagger. Come on. Okay, okay, that's good. Okay, okay. Okay, that's good, that's good. Okay, back up Mystic Art. Okay, okay. この Mystic Art バックアップしました。はい。いや、このボス戦は簡単です。メルティアはプリズムデステラをしています。ディオスはイグナイトカリバ。セルシウスカリバみたいですね。でも、ファイアアートです。So we're done with Dios and Meltia. So these are basically so what happened to them is the twins actually know now the consequence of eliminating the final boss in this game, because the moment they finish the final boss, they will also disappear, because again they already have the truth themselves. They know who they are already. They know who Dios and Meltia are. So they are trying now to save themselves at this point. Save themselves because it will just be pure bliss and ignorance if they don't search for the truth. And also, this is the reason why this game is also called Seeking the Truth RPG. Hi, クレスのヒヨギを見えましたね。でも、ダークスターを見ませんでした。でも、ダークスターが本当に強いと必要です。ダークスター後で敵が止まります。So this is the final boss of this game. This is Norn. So Norn, who was in Kuru all along. So Norn は特に簡単で、私が止まるしければ、第1フェーズではヒオギアカシクハロを、第2フェーズはイナゴホをします。でもこのボス戦はとても簡単です。もう100% コンセントレーションいります。OK、ダークスターします。はい。このダークスターは本当に強いです。はい。大きなダメージします。はい。また2番フェーズでは彼女は魂を呼びすることができます。 あ、シルフさん。はいはいはい。シルフさん。はい、たくさんトリートのためです。ミスティックアウトします。ボタン違います。not clean anymore. What happened to Dio?スペシャルグミ。スペシャルグミはこの戦うのためです。OK。この戦うの綺麗じゃないです。でも、タイムストップ。はい、タイムストップです。最後のボス戦終わりです。はい、エンディングはゆっくりどうぞ。
この強さはあなた方の生きてきた過ちを受け止めたあなた方の覚悟を見せてもらいます。
後でコスチュームショーケースしますね。ショーケースします。
さようなら。はい、GG ありがとうございます。はい、でも、もう一度エンディングゆっくりどうぞ。
credit. Okay. Is this credits? Okay, credit skip します。エピローグまでです。By the way, I cannot believe this. My PSP did not drift throughout this run. So good thing. I was able to finish a whole run in one sitting. Yes. Original の PSP と UMD 遊びました。
ちょっと。はじめまして。誰？お客さ
ん？はい。おかえり。
僕の可愛いただいま。
So that's the story of なりきりダンジョン and これのタイムライン、アセリアタイムラインは終わりです。So シンフォニアから始めです。なりきりダンジョンの終わりです。アセリアタイムラインが終わりです。はい。コスチュームショーケース時間ですね。In a sense, remake 前にコスチュームショーケース時間です。少々お待ちくださいね。Where is my save file? This one. This one. Okay. Okay, コスチューム時間です。ディオはカタマリとカイトさんのドットハックシリーズとカニコスチュームとアスベルさんをいただきます。はい。メルはアスカ風間とでもはるか甘みが難しいアンロックするが難しいですね。カニとワンダーモモさんです。はい。今日はアスカ風間とアスベルさんのコスチュームになります。2週間前にエブジャパンをいただきます。テッケン8のチャンピオンはイカリさんです。はい、おめでとうございます。Evo Japan? Shoutouts to Evo Japan. Shoutouts to Evo Japan. So, okay, 紹介しますね。アスカ風間とアスベルさんです。アスカ風間は始まります。 So, Asuka Combo no Hyogi です。Shoutouts to Evo Japan. So,これはAsuka Kazama です。終わりです。でも、アスベルコスチュームが、はい、アスベルさんがあります。ちょっと待って。ミスティックアートは、はい、終わりです。はい。はい、グリス F から、飛びませですね。はい。アスベルコスチュームのついて、どこ見ましたか？どこに見ましたか？アスベルコスチュームですか？例えば、ゴッドイーターバストと、Tales of Exilia 2と、Tales of Race のコラボレーションと、ドットハックシリーズ。はい。今年には、oh no アトリエシリーズの勝者ですから、今年には、ユミヤのアトリエのアスベルコスチュームがあります。はい。ユミヤ。はい。コスチュームショーケースを終わりました。はい。シャウトアウト。エクさんとネズミさんとのTales of Showcase Speedrun スタッフとはありがとうございます。Train of thought shoutouts. Okay. Shoutouts to Tales of Speedrun Showcase, of course. Of course, because I've mentioned Atelier before. So, Atelier series, shoutouts to Gas Relay also. Shoutouts to Atelier RTA. So, yeah. Train of thought, no? Train of thought. Because I've talked about Asbel's costume, so yeah. Mactel さんの初めの奏者です。このゲームの初めの奏者です。So I thank Mactails also for giving a route to this game. So that's it for me. このゲームは終わりです。以上です。次のゲームはTales of Innocence Remake 奏者のシュバシュバペルリルさんです。はい。はい、それからまた今度ね。はい。